Hello everybody, I am Ben. Welcome back to Board and Savior. We all know that board gaming can be a very expensive hobby, but here's the thing. It doesn't have to be. Today we are looking at 5 great games for under $30 a piece. Top 5 coming soon, but first a few honorable mentions, starting with...
Did you hear about Chef Ben? No? What happened?
Guys, I'm in the middle of filming.
Sorry, man. I was just filling him in on how Neb used to be impersonating Ben too, and then he stopped doing that, started pretending to be Chef Ben, and you actually proved that by inducing the eyes of Avenir and forcing him to say the prophecy.
Thank you. That's very helpful exposition for anyone who isn't caught up, but...
Did we ever figure out what Neb's evil plan was? Nope. The Ben who went back to the past hasn't figured that out yet.
That's right. Okay, now everyone knows the big question that we're still waiting on the answers to, but I gotta get back to...
Neb is now locked up where Ben 2, who we thought was Neb, had been locked up before. I'm sorry, that happened off screen, so.
Everybody got it? Good. Okay, our first honorable mention is Cockroach Poker. Let's be real, every good affordable games list needs at least one lie to your friends game. This is the honorable mention section, but don't worry, the regular list will also have one of these types of games. I know, I made the list. This is Cockroach Poker. This version is Cockroach Poker Royal, which has some like extra module stuff that's also fun, but any version will do just fine. You've got a hand of cards with a whole bunch of creepy crawly critters on it. I've got scorpions, cockroaches, and stink bugs in my hand right now. And what you're gonna do on your turn is take one of these cards, this is a scorpion, you're gonna slide it across the table and make a claim about it. You can tell the truth, you can slide it across and say, this is a scorpion, or you can slide it across and say, it's any of the other options. This is a bat. That's what I'm gonna say that I'll do. Slide it across the table to my buddy, say this is a bat. Now they have a choice to make. They can look at the card and pass it along to somebody else and make a new claim of their own, or they can try to figure out whether you were telling the truth or whether you were lying. I gave them a scorpion, I said it was a bat. They know that I'm a liar. They know that that's my favorite thing to do. So they say, I don't think that is a bat, I think it's something else. They are right, and so I get this card. It goes face up in front of me, and that is bad. Because if you ever have 4 of the same critter face up in front of you, you are out, you lose the game. This game is great. It is so silly. You've got to figure out how to lie or tell the truth in new ways. You got to tell the truth to make you seem suspicious. You got to lie to make you seem genuine. It's great. It's just so silly, so fun. You're going to be having a raucous, uproarious time. Very good game. Honorable mention 2, Unmatched Brains and Brawn. It is not many games that can include multiple quality miniatures and still be on the under $30 list, but here we are. Unmatched is one of them. This is one of the 3 fighter sets. They've got a bunch of Marvel 3 fighter sets that are all under $30. If you want to pay even less, you can get some of the 2 fighter sets, which are like 22-ish, 25-ish bucks. And then if you want one of the 4 fighter sets, which is a good place to start, but it doesn't make this list because, you know, that's more than $30. They're like 40 bucks for like the 4 fighter sets, and those are also really good. This game is so much fun. Cockroach Poker, a little bit sillier, less strategic, and more just like having a blast. This one is a little bit thinkier, not like crazy, it's still very bombastic, but there is some strategy, and if you want to beat the opposing fighter, you're gonna have to think, use your little noggin. These fighters are great across the board. I'm not just saying that these 2 fighters are good, but they all are tailored to the character. So Spider-Man, he's going to be slinging webs, making quips, using his spider sense. She-Hulk is going to be using her lawyer legalese and punching people really hard. All of the fighters feel like the fighters, feel like that character, and if you hate Marvel for whatever reason, you can easily avoid this stuff. This is just one of like the best bang for your buck sets, so that's why this is on the list. But you can go for Jurassic Park, or you can go for like literary, like Beowulf and Robin Hood are in Unmatched. Whatever you like, it's probably somewhere in Unmatched. Yes, this is on the cheap, affordable list, but if you get really into it, it's probably going to end up costing you a little bit more. I have a lot of Unmatched stuff, and it has cost me a pretty penny. But if you've got something that I've never heard of, self-control, you should be able to keep it to under $30 for a little while, at least. Unmatched, my second.
Are you filming?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm about to die. Here. Take that. Did he get a haircut? Number 5. Decrypto. Who doesn't love a good team game? And Decrypto is the best team game that there is. Don't at me unless you are adding me to agree, because I could use that kind of support. Thank you so much. Love you. Decrypto is a game where you and the other team are going to get 2 different banks of 4 words. For this team, the white team, they've got the words elf, wheat, monster, and volcano. One player from this team is going to draw one of these codes, and it is going to show 3 numbers, in this case 2, 1, 4. I, as the person who drew this code, need to come up with clues to get my team to guess 2, 1, 4, wheat, elf, volcano. I could go super general and go field, Santa, lava. But the problem with that is that the other team is going to grow a bank of the words, of the clues that you give relating to these words. They're going to see the first clue for 2 was field, and the second was corn, and then the third was bread. They're going to start to figure out that this thing is wheat. If the other team breaks your code, you lose, so you got to give weird, confusing clues. But the problem with that is that if you go too weird and confusing, your own team might get confused, and if your team doesn't get your code, you also lose that way. So you've got to figure out where to be just confusing enough that the other team won't get it, but so clear that your team will. It's so fun. You are going to have a blast. This game is great with people who you have inside jokes with, but it's also fantastic in icebreaker scenarios where you can kind of create just out of public consciousness your clues. That's also very, very exciting. Decrypto, love it so much. Number 5. Number 4, Liar's Dice. Lying. People say that it's bad, but as soon as you put it into a board game, suddenly it's good? I don't understand philosophy. Anyway, this is Liar's Dice, a game that you have seen played if you've ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest, a movie in which Davy Jones says, "Bootstrap Bill, ye are a liar!" And yes, that is actually a perfect Davy Jones impression. All I'm missing are the tentacles, but otherwise, no notes whatsoever. Thank you for noticing. In Liar's Dice, everyone is going to roll up their dice and secretly take a peek. If you're the first player, are going to look at your dice and see, okay, so I've got 3 threes here. I betcha that there are 6 threes around the rest of the table, including my 3. So I've got my 3, and there are definitely, among these dice, 3 more 3s. So I say, I bet you there's 6 threes. Next player to go in turn order has to either call me out or increase that bid. If they increase it, say that they've got 4 fours underneath their cup, they say, I bet you there's 7 fours around the table. That keeps going. People keep upping the bid until someone says, I'm not upping it anymore. Previous player, you're a liar. You cannot do what you said you could do. Then everyone reveals their dice. You count things up. If the player could do what they said, if there are, in fact, those 7 fours, the player who called them out loses a die, lose all your dice, you're out. If they could not do it, if there were not 7 fours, the player who was called out loses a die. Same deal, lose all your dice, you're done. That's the game. What I've realized as I've been explaining this is not actually lying. This is bluffing exclusively. Lying would be if you knew how many things there were and then you said something else about it. No. This is probability. This is statistician's dice, which isn't as good of a name, but here we are. Liar's Dice, number 4. Wait, why is it recording now? I didn't press it the first time? God! Recording? Okay. Hey, Ben2 and Nerd Ben. It worked. I got here right before the Top 20 Games video started recording, so I'm gonna go hide in the vents, I guess, and observe. Hopefully we get what we need to figure out Nub's plan. Okay. Love you, bye! Number 3, innovation. Don't judge a board game by its cover or by its components. Innovation is certainly among the ugliest games that I own, but it is also among the best. It's very, very good. So here's the deal with innovation. We've been talking about games that are lighter, punchier, bombastic, fun. Innovation, definitely a thinker. Lot of strategy here, and If you're in that mood, it offers great choices. Really, really fantastic. In this game, you are going to be building a civilization from prehistory all the way to the information age, assuming that the game doesn't end a little bit earlier. There are some victory conditions that show up in previous cards. Ooh, you'll have to find those out for yourself. It is a civilization building game. You take things from early, pottery and learning how to write all the way to developing computers and atomic weapons. All of that stuff happens in this game. It is not particularly thematic. There's no area control, anything like that. It is all in your tableau, this tableau of cards that will splay out in front of you and actually splay out among the cards you'll see in B-roll. It looks like a weird spider web. It is very thinky, very strategic, and it's really, really great. I made the funny joke, don't judge a board game by its cover. Don't. It's really good. Give it a shot, play it. It's very affordable, and I think if you are into this kind of thinky, long-term plotting and strategy, this is a great game for that. I love innovation. Number 3. Number 2, Blitzkrieg. World War II in 20 minutes. Simplicity. Elegance. Blitzkrieg! You never expect a game with an exclamation point in the title to be so aptly described as simple and elegant, but here we are. Blitzkrieg, World War II in under 20 minutes. I don't know why I sounded like Rocky there, but it happened. This is a game that has one of my favorite mechanics, which is the tug of war. There are actually 5 tugs of war going on. You've got to pick and choose which tugs to tug and which ones to leave behind, because you're not going to be able to win all 5. It's just impossible. In this game, you are going to be drawing tiles from your bag, which will tell you kind of what your strategy is going to be for each given turn. Because, as you'll see on this board, there are blue and brown spaces. Blue spaces are for naval units, brown are for land units. And so if you just so happen to start drawing only land units, and you were going for the Pacific Ocean, you're going to need to pivot your strategy a little bit, which is very exciting, very fun. And it's just a very, very, very smart game with a very simple framework. These little symbols on this, you may be like, oh, you said simple, but there's all these symbols. No, it's just you get a victory point. You get one of these things. You take one of the tiles from behind your opponent's screen, you get rid of it. It's super, super simple, but within this simple package, there is so much room for, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm losing in 4 theaters somehow. It's all falling apart. It's so good. It does indeed play in under 20 minutes, but in that time, there is such a great battle happening, a war being waged between you and your friend. This game is just great. Had to be on this list and had to be this high. It's so smart. It's so easy to explain and then just start playing. And if you are like the people who I have played this with, you are going to play this 3 or 4 times in a row. Blitzkrieg, World War II in under 20 minutes. So great. Number 1, Horizons of Spirit Island. Before I talk gameplay, just know I've got some upgraded stuff from expansions and from regular Spirit Island, so it's not quite this fancy if you buy Horizons. It's more like cardboard tokens and places some of this plastic and wooden stuff, so just keep that in mind if you decide to buy this one. You know that I love Spirit Island. It's my favorite game ever. And Horizons is just the same thing, but a little bit more simplified, streamlined, and you don't need to spend as much time being like, how the hell do I make this spirit not lose me the game? You don't have to do that here, because all of these spirits are easier. In this game, you are elemental forces of nature trying to protect your native island from invaders, from explorers who are building towns and cities, ruining the natural beauty of this land, causing blight to spring up around your lovely island. You don't want that at all, so you've got to scare them away or destroy them. Either way, it'll work. And you do this by playing cards from your hand. Some of these cards happen immediately. Some of them take a little bit of time to actually work. And it is so, so, so great. I really think that Spirit Island is the kind of game that's for anyone. I know that there are people who don't like it, but I think generally speaking, it's going to be a game that you're going to like. This is a great way to see if that is true. This game you can get for under $30. It was a Target exclusive, and now I think you can get it on Amazon. I don't know about local game stores. Not sure if that has, if it's no longer exclusive to certain retailers. Very, very affordable. Great way to get in and see if you like it. And then if you do, there is so much Spirit Island stuff out there for you to upgrade components, get more spirits to play with, get more powers to work with. This game is so good. Please give it a go if you like this kind of thing. If it sounds like something you would like, I betcha it is.
He noticed me, and he unleashed the Ben who lives under the sink. I don't know how long I have, but I did figure some things out. First, this. You can use this to pick out Neb. It'll only work on Neb and the real Ben. That's the good news. Bad news. We thought he was Ben 2 during the Top 20 Games video. No. He was the chef. He switches between Ben 2 and Chef Ben depending on what he needs access to. It's the cookies. He put a time-release toxin into the cookies. The real Chef Ben, Trenchcoat Ben, Sleepy Ben, and Ben, they've been poisoned. I have to go back to the future, give this to someone who can use it, but then I need to come back here, figure out when that toxin is set to deploy. Tell my wife I wish she existed.
Well, as I come to terms with my impending demise, I think that's as good a place as any to end this video. Let me and your fellow gamers know in the comments down below what your favorite affordable games are. Also, if you liked this video, either the top 5 or the stupid clone stuff or any of it, consider liking the video and hitting that subscribe button. I put a lot of work into these and I do genuinely appreciate your support. TTFN, ta-ta for now.